Yeah, Mark started recording. Sorry. Yeah. Well, today we'll discuss about the OAM. Okay, it's an overview basically, and I'll also don't take it very serious because in the real time people won't be using OAM much, and so most of the activities, people will be working from the back end only. So you know very well, isn't it? I mean, along with your database installation, you would be getting OEM, okay, Oracle Enterprise Manager for that particular. So you can create a user, you can drop a user, you can create a table space, you can add a data file to that table space. Okay, so you can monitor all the services, you can find out the logs and all. Okay, so there are, I mean, you can even bring up the services, bring down the services. Means you can even bring up your listener and bring down the listener. You can bring up your database and bring down the database. So many this kind of many features are there in OEF, but how many of you guys using those those features? How many of you guys in a day will be logging into OEM and verifying about the services, verifying about the database, for to add any table space? I mean, how many of you guys are using OEM to add a data file or create a table space and that? Nobody, right? So I mean, we're totally habituated to the backend, and it will be accurate as well. So if you want to add a data file to that, alter table space, add data file, the command you will be executing. If you want to bring up or bring down the services, you would be using startup and shutdown. If you want to bring up and bring down the listeners, you will be using LSNR CTL only. Okay, so it's basically good practice, and the OEM, and every time it won't be accurate basically. It's a tool basically, and again it would be capturing the information from data. I mean from backend only. So instead of using that, I mean logging into, getting into the URL, logging into the OEM, browsing that, this and that, so everybody, I mean, most of the people will be preferring the backend only. So all the commands, the database side or operating system side, you would be using the commands and you would be getting. Okay, the same way here also. Okay, so Arclay has given. Okay, it's a very nice tool and a powerful tool. It can perform so many activities, which I would be showing you. Okay, you can submit a concurrent program. You can monitor a concurrent program. You can monitor concurrent server log files and output files. Okay, and you can verify them. Okay, and you can enable a license. You can disable not disable. You can enable a license. You can add and country specific related, and you can even run auto config. Okay, there is a tool called context editor, so if you want to change any information in the context file, you can change with the help of this. You can monitor the users, you can monitor the sessions, something like, they have given n number of options, and it's up to you basically. Okay, so I'll be giving the overview, so I'll be walk through it also. Okay, so I'll show you in the system. Okay. So depends on the requirement. If your client, or I mean, if you don't have any idea about executing that particular concept from the back end, at that time, yes, you have to depend on OEM only. Okay, so let's see what it is. Objectives, if you see, understanding the OEM, okay, and explaining the benefits of OEM, understanding the Oracle application management pack, the Oracle business uses. So describe the basic features and use license manager, registering the product, country specific, registering the languages, identifying the licensed products, and all. You can even get the reports here. How many products have been licensed, and that kind of report you can get. Okay, so you can walk through the context editor, and you can see what are the XML contents and the benefit. I mean the explanation about the definition of that particular content, and you can see. Okay, so I mean the one thing is you can't bring down the application, or you can't bring up the application with the OEM tool. OEM doesn't have that facility. Okay, like what we got in OEM. So here, only you can monitor, and a couple of minor activities you can do it, and we'll see what and all. Mhm. Let's bring up the services first. Mm. Yeah. And as I said, that we need to make sure we're able to connect it to apps. Default apps user password would be apps. This admin password would be sysadmin. You're right. So connectivity apps password is right, and the connectivity between database and application is right. Okay, since it is a single node installation, sometimes you won't be facing any issue. Okay, but if you are in multi-node installation, database is running somewhere else. First we have to make sure that maybe database must be up and running, listener may be up and running, but the connectivity between the application and database is not right, and then there is no point, and means the application cannot talk to database. So that part we need to make sure. Okay, otherwise the whole entire thing you need to restart. Okay, so you'll say start all data sets. I mean, partially it will start uh, some processes, and some processes will fail. Again you need to do a clean down, and again you need to bring up cleanly, something like that, an unnecessary waste of time. Okay, so before starting the application, always make sure that so one thing you need to make sure TNS being broad, that it should return. And when you apps, skill plus apps and apps password. Okay, so never type the password like that, and the password you provide like here. Okay, apps password is a very important password we should meant type. Okay, so if you say a skill plus apps, and someone else with the other user, I mean, I mean, if anyone having access to your operating system, it's easy to get that password by going into the history and so be careful. Okay, so make sure that my database is up and running. The connectivity between the database and application is perfect. Okay, so now we can start. And we'll go for that logic password. All right, let's move on to the discussion now. So what is OEM? Okay, it's a tool. It's a front-end tool basically. It's a general purpose system management console. Okay, it's a I mean, Oracle applications console. The definition is Oracle application manager. So monitor and control the system components, diagnose and resolve the system issues, manage the system configuration, streamline the system maintenance. Okay, so and built directly into the Oracle Business Suite. So you don't need to install any other stuff. You don't need to take a license of anything else. Okay. So once you install e-business suite, automatically this OEM will come to your machine, and I mean with the same, okay, with the same URL would be logging with the user, and there would be one responsibility called Oracle system administrator. In that responsibility, Oracle application manager bulk, there is one menu, and the menu that will have so many sub menus. Okay, so that we see now. So next benefits. So reduce the total cost of ownership, and actually business would streamline the use of existing system resources, reduce the downtime, and reduce the support costs. Okay, it's overall, the main benefit of the OEM is, it's a front end tool. You no need of the KT, okay, aggressive KT, okay. So just a matter of navigation. If you really understand the navigation and the sequence of steps need to be performed, then it's very, I mean, it's a cakewalk. Simply you can log into the system and you can browse. You don't need to execute any of the commands, right? So simply you can click on browsing and okay, you can do the browsing. Okay, next, Oracle Application Manager integrated with the workflow. Okay, generic service management, Oracle diagnostics, custom SQL scripts, concurrent processing, auto config. So this OAM contains all these components. Okay, so mainly, one of the component is there Oracle workflow notification mailer configuration that you cannot do from the backend. Okay, that is the one which you need to do only with the OAM. Okay, so it's a basically it's an email system in your e-business suite. Okay, so it is something like when you set up a workflow. Okay, suppose a workflow is a workflow. Okay, there is a product. Okay, in that we'll be defining the workflow, like the flow of your organization, basically, like suppose you are the manager. Okay, so Mohit is one of the manager and Mark is one of the employee and Tej is above the Mohit. Okay, so if I raise a request, and it will be initially it will be generating a mail to Mohit, and it would look for the approval. In that itself, approve, reject, okay, the buttons will be coming, and when Mohit said approve, okay, and immediately another mail will be generated. One approval mail will be coming to me, and it will be going to the next level. Okay, so the another mail will be going to the next level, and there also some approvals are required, and if you rejecting, there will be one text kind of stuff, and there you can mention like why did you reject it, and again a mail will be generated and send it to the appropriate people. So something like to maintain this workflow, some mechanism need to be there. Some email mechanism need to be there. So as part of Oracle e-business suite, by default, workflow notification mailer, workflow notification WFT something, workflow notification mailer, WFM or something we call, but I mean WF workflow notification mailer, WF mailer or something we call. So the workflow notification manager one is the one who manages the mailing system under any business suite. Okay, it's not mandatory to make use of workflow notification mailer only in the e-business suite. You can configure with the multiple email, like there are so many third-party email systems are there, and you can configure whatever you like. Okay, so this is the one by default you are getting. That's it. Okay, so that part, yes, you have to do it from front end only. If you want, I can show it to you now. Okay, so you can go to the workflow notification mailer, what and all parameters it would be expecting from you. So the machine name, mail, what kind of mail it is, the mailing server name, and also so that's such a kind of inputs and all you need to provide there, and you need to configure. Okay. You can use the links from the Oracle Application Manager to access OEM and Fusion Middleware Control. Okay, so the Oracle WebLogic Server Administration Console also it is giving. Okay, so navigation. Let it start. It is a bit slow. Okay, so it will be started. Let it start. So till now, if you meantime, if you got any doubts, you can ping me. Server is too slow. Yesterday, actually, I have used this server. Through OEM, we can manage concurrent requests. Yes, we can do that. We can do that. We can monitor, okay, and also we can monitor last 1 hour concurrent list of concurrent servers. Okay, yep. So that's fine. So yesterday it didn't take this much time. Yesterday I did some research on this. I have kind of configured Golden Gate with this, and maybe because of that it becomes slow. We need to see. Or anyway, once we get the server, I'll be giving demo on Oxwave server only. So you don't need to worry about these RAMs and that. Yep. So this is her, and anywhere you can click, you will be going there. Okay. So dashboard. All right. So this is the dashboard basically. Okay. So this is, I mean, when you log into, okay, anywhere you can click, you will be getting, you will be coming to this place, and it depends on your requirement, you will be navigating. So basically, you will be getting like this. Okay. So this is the dashboard and the front page. So if you see, here the system complete details. Okay. What is your host name? What is your platform? What is your 64-bit or 32-bit? The host configuration and setup is correct or not. Administration. Admin server installed well or not, in the sense, the utilities have been placed in edit or bin location or not. So database is up and running or not. Concurrent server is up and running or not. The complete information it will be given to you. At the same time, if you got a multi-node installation, you would be getting multiple entries. Okay, so admin server blank will be there, and the other node admin server will be in green color tick mark. So if the concurrent server is in some other node, so here nothing will be there, only blank will be there, and against to that particular server, concurrent server processing tick mark will be there, something like that. It will be generating on a table if it is a multi-node installation. Okay, so so this is the main information you need to look into. So if you want to know, okay, so you can refresh it like this. Okay, if you feel like problem with the page and better to refresh it, don't refresh here and refresh here, because this will have some functionality inside that. So it will refresh the database and give it to you. Okay, anyway, when you refresh, when you refresh the HTML page, this functionality and all one doesn't work. So that is the reason, if you got a refresh button here or here or something like that, better to choose that part only. Okay, so there is something called a sitemap. In that sitemap, you would be seeing what and all there. So the mainly it has divided into four categories: administration category, monitoring category, maintenance category, and diagnostic. So mostly we won't be doing anything with the diagnostic. Okay, so we'll be working with the our administration part and the maintenance part. Okay, so I mean, in the administration, you would be seeing host information, auto config, license manager. Okay, for example, auto config is there. Okay, so you would be seeing, the machine name, host name. Okay, so last updated database. So here you would be seeing um, context file. It's basically is the context file. Okay, it's one for the application and another for database. Okay, so if you click on so these are the things you would be seeing. Okay, s underscore context name. By any chance, if you say s underscore context name from the backend, if you see, against to this, what is the value? Plot underscore underscore. So if you want to know what exactly it is, you can read the description. It has not given for all the parameters. Okay, so some of the major parameters they have provided means Arclient itself provided. It's not like someone else provided. Okay, so like this, if you want to change it, you can change it and you can save it here. And basically this will be calling from the XML file. Okay, so that XML file will be saved. That XML file will call as a context file as well. So this update will be going there and it will be saved. So here you can see so much of information. Okay, so active destination is what, and format in which format. Okay, context file location and the context file. So the type. Okay, so next in this is the global information. You can go for the system information. Okay, also you can go for the local information. Install information, environment information, process information, customer information, something like that. You will be seeing so many. Okay, so and again, if you go back, this is one of the point I wanted to tell you. Don't use back button, but actually, basically don't use back button. Okay, so we'll be navigate inside from inside the links. Okay, that's what the context editor. So if you see products report, if you go with the licensed products, okay. So this is the report. These are the products are licensed. Okay, totally 76 were licensed by default. Okay, so shared products. So initially I have said no, some of the products are interdependent. Okay, so they are not yeah, I mean not the standard one. Okay, so these are the shared products. And though it is required or not, RTE business will be installing this. Okay, so like that you can see. Okay, you can navigate it to multiple links. Okay, so contact services and all that stuff. If you see monitoring, excuse me, sorry. Sorry. So host monitor, database monitoring, web components monitoring. Okay, so workflow monitoring. These and all you get. Sorry, yeah. Sorry guys. Okay, so these are the monitoring basically. Okay, you can see you can even request a processing manager and all. Submit actually concurrent. Maintenance, you can see what are the list of patches have been applied and the other information, patch which are file history, patch history, and okay, so it's for the diagnosis. And the monitoring itself, you can see. Yep. So if you see the concurrent requests, okay, these are the concurrent requests you'll be executing. Okay, so you can even submit a new request basically. Okay. So chat view. So let's do one thing. Let us submit a concurrent request here. Okay, okay. So it needs this separate privileges. Okay, as of now, we can submit the concurrent request from the content only. It's through forms. So last 1 hour, what are the concurrent programs have been submitted? Okay, so we can see the log file here. You can see the manager log file. Okay, by any chance, if anything goes wrong, you can see the output file here. If anything is there against this particular. Okay, so chart view. How many have terminated? How many have errored out or something like that. Yeah. Hello. Is this clear? Yes. Is this clear, Mohit? Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Is the regular settings? Okay. So in the sitemap, if you see, as we discussed now, the administration, monitoring, maintenance, diagnostics, repair, and all like this. Okay. So the administration I have showed you, monitoring I have showed you. Okay. So site maintenance I have showed you, diagnostics I have showed you. Okay, so this and all, I'm not going inside in depth of each and everything because it's not really required to be honest. Okay, and most of them, would be doing from the back end basically. Okay, so in the next, okay, once we are done with this, we'll be starting the area administration part. Okay, so okay, after this, file system architecture is there, and after file system architecture, we would be moving to AD administration part. Okay, probably from Monday onwards, we'll be moving to AD administration. So there we would be discussing about the maintenance only, like suppose the forms are down, how to regenerate a form, how to regenerate a report. These are the major things basically as part of database administrator, role. You would be performing such activities: auto config, regenerating form, regenerating report, generating the jar files. Okay, and working with the apps user. Okay, so I mean, and also changing the passwords, the default passwords. So this and all comes under administration part. So we would be discussing about for each and every thing. Would be discussing along with the practice. Okay, so this one is this OAM part. I'm just giving you the overview just for your information. Okay, so if you really wanted to go through it, you just navigate it, and if you come across anything and if you feel interesting, you let me know. I can explain you about that. Okay, so license manager, you can enable license here, you can disable the license, sorry, you can enable the license here, you can view I mean, just now I have showed you some report, right? You can view the report and how many products are licensed, how many products are something like license manager. So how many products are shared, how many products are licensed and all. Okay, so the same thing, if you go back, AD, LIC, MGR, there is an utility. Okay, it's a license manager from the back end. So that's one of the AD administration utility. So it would be executing that, and it would be giving Java interface, Java applet interface. So it would be enabling the license or viewing the licensed products, whatever whatever you are doing here, there you can do with that particular utility AD, LAC, MGR. Okay, the patch related also. So earlier it was a AD patch, it's a DOP patch or something utility is there. Okay, that utility. So I mean, through this you can do the patch analysis, and there is another set of sequence of steps are there to perform. So system doesn't know mostly. Most of the things, the analysis and all, system can't. I mean, this OEM can't tell. Okay. Maybe they are improving. Maybe in going forward, we might need to use OEM. Okay, or he might make it mandatory. We never know. Okay, as of now, no, I mean, many of the people not using OEM. I can say. So licensed one I have showed you. Okay. So registering the products, as I said, the products are interdependentable. So the registering the product in a different ways basically. Okay. So registering the off cycle product, and for that you need to execute a patch, and as part of post patch you need to use one of the utility called AD splice. Okay, it's not as simple as it is showing. Okay, so it's a sequence of steps are there, and see basically some of the steps here, some of the steps there, it would create so much of confusion. So that is the reason, we'll be following the reading the text of the patch, and we'll be continuing, like first creating the table space for the new product, and then configure some of the configuration files will be there. Okay, so the configuring that, and again, and then you'll be applying a patch to get the file system under required file system under. After that, to register under, AD splice, ADSPLIC. Okay, there is one utility. It is also an AD administration utility. You will be using that utility, and you will be splicing the product, in the sense that you will be registering that particular product. So that's the actual way of working. This is just yes, it is there, just to know. Okay. Okay, I mean, this one, don't worry. Okay, I will be giving the separate documentation how exactly in the real time will be happening. Okay, so country specific functionality also. If suppose you installed only US American language, and if you want to add more languages, you have to register the other things accordingly. But there is a separate meta note for that. It's not as simple as it is showing like this. Okay, so again, after doing this, you have to perform many. I mean, there are some prerequisite steps are there, and post requisite steps are there, and all. So that's a big task basically. That's not a simple task. So there will be a separate meta note. You need to prepare an action plan and do it on a non-production instances, and then coming back to the production. It's a big task basically. Okay, languages it is. So license manager I have shown you already. Sorry. So basically, this is what this is what we okay. So just as I said, again I'm saying it's just for your information only. Don't spend much time on OEM. Just browse it once and see what are the links are available, and that. Okay, but something like, if anybody talking about OEM, you shouldn't feel surprised. That is the only reason I'm showing to you. Okay. So next, in the next class, we will be discussing about the file system architecture, which is really very important. Okay, so we'll be discussing about the file system architecture tomorrow, and then we'll take a break one day. Okay, maybe Saturday we'll take a break. Okay, and I'll make sure that you'll be getting. I mean, tomorrow I'm going to Axwave. I'll find out what is the status of it, and a couple of days you please practice the file system architecture, so browsing into the file system, bringing up the services, bringing down the services, verifying the services, and logging into the application, browsing the links. Okay, this and that, you have to be comfortable basically. Okay, then only we can switch to the administration part. Okay, so on Monday onwards we will start the administration part. Okay, so tomorrow I'll update you. Basically, I'll update you about the lab and its status. Okay, so yeah, let's meet tomorrow. Okay, if you have any doubt, please let me know. We'll discuss. Fine. Okay, anyway, I mean, yes, I already said there's nothing to take it very serious about this. Okay, so I mean, but tomorrow, I mean, the file system architecture is really important. We have to make a note of the important configuration files, and we have to make a note of I mean, important log files location. So for every component, okay, there is so much of I mean, chances or scope is there to screw any of the component. You are bringing up the COM server, it may screw. You are bringing up the repo server, it may screw. You are bringing up the web server, it may screw. Concurrent server, it may screw. Okay, so something like that. Whatever technology stack component got screwed up. So from where we need to start our troubleshooting is very important. And at the same time, when you are running auto config. So what is the where do you get the log file when you're running a patch? Where do you get the log file when you're running the cloning? Where do you get the patch file? So this and all, all right, okay, yeah. Anyway, I'll tell you once again. Okay, tomorrow we'll discuss about that. Okay? So we'll be switching to the actual, okay, the actual tool, the Oxford tool. All right, okay, fine. I mean, I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, about file system and all. And with this one, this video, I will upload it to with the today date folder. I will upload it to the drive, Google Drive. All right. Okay, fine. Okay, see you tomorrow. Yeah, bye. Take care. Have a nice day.